Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Sandhya's Biology Tutorials. In this video, I will be sharing the questions related to the evolution chapter that to need previous year's questions so that it will be helpful to you. As NEET is arriving soon, so I wanted to share the questions related to all the chapters. So let us start with the evolution chapter, which has been the questions which has been asked from the previous years. So the first question you can able to see here. So which of the following represents the order of the horse? This is a direct question. So they are asking the order of the horse. We know that the horse will be having different kinds. The foot will be of odd type. So the all odd typed foot organisms will comes under the order Perissodactyla. So the answer is Perissodactyla. The next question you can able to see here, analogous structures are a result of. For this, I wanted to share you an information so that if you know that basic concepts, you can able to solve any type of questions related to the evolution chapter. So let us see about the homologous and analogous organs and the differences between them, which is a very important topic, and also uh, many questions you can able to solve easily. So here if you take homologous, homo means similar, that is the same structure will be very same, and that too the internal structure, don't get confused that only the external structure. So the internal structure will be the same, and the origin also from the same origin it will be there, but the function will be different. So same structure and same origin, but the function of that will be different. That is the homologous organs. Coming to the analogous organs, if you take here, this is exactly opposite to the homologous, means different structure will be there and different origin will be there, but same function will be there. Even though the structure and origin is different, the function will be the same. So these are the major differences between homologous and analogous. If you know this, you can able to answer very easily. And one more thing you have to know about the convergent evolution and divergent evolution. So here as you know the differences, so the origin is from different from different places the origin is happening. So that is called as convergent evolution. Okay, but whenever the origin is same, so from the same origin there will be the same structure also will be there, but different functions will be there for the different things. So that means it is a divergent evolution. So this is the major difference between convergent evolution and divergent evolution. Homologous will be divergent evolution and analogous will be convergent evolution. So if you know these basic differences, then it will be very easy to solve the question. So now if you see the second question, it's a direct question which has been asked in NEET 2016. Analogous structures are a result of. So you can easily answer it as convergent evolution. Next, coming to the third question, this is also in the NEET 2016. Which of the following structures is homologous to the wing of a bird? As you know the differences, homologous means same structure and different function. So wing of a bird is useful for flying. So let us see the options. Wing of a moth, it is also useful for flying, so you can opt out that. And if you take hind limb of a rabbit, you know that all the wings have been evolved from the forelimbs, not from the hind limbs, so you can opt out that also. And coming to the flipper of a whale, so the flipper of a whale, it will be present where it will be present, it has been originated from the same origin, that is from the forelimbs. So it's easy to answer that flipper of a whale is homologous to the wing of a bird. Wing of a bird is useful for flying and flipper of a whale is useful for swimming. Okay, coming to the next question, here they are asking about the uh, following are the two statements regarding the origin of life. If you know the origin of life, how the life has been originated primitively, so we know that it has been originated in water. In the water the life has been originated, and that too primitive organisms doesn't at that time the oxygen was also not there, and all the organisms or majorly it has been formed from chemicals. So let us see the statements. The first statement: earliest organisms that appeared on the earth were non-green and presumably anaerobes. So it is correct because they are non-green and they are anaerobes. Oxygen doesn't came into the at that time oxygen was not there. First statement is correct. Coming to the second statement, the first autotrophic organisms were the chemoautotrophs. Actually, first chemoheterotrophs and after that chemoautotrophs has came. But here in the question they have asked about the first autotrophs. So it is the chemoautotrophs and that never released oxygen. So initial primitive organisms they haven't released any oxygen. So both the statements are correct. So if you see the options, option B is correct. Next question, genetic drift. So if at all you forget what is genetic drift also, how you can answer this question? Drift means it's a change will occur, change in the genes, exchange of the genes will happen. So that exchange of genes, where it will be happening, it happens in a, if at all the organisms are very nearer, if they are nearer. So you can say that the small isolated population, in the small isolated population, the genetic drift will operate. So next, coming to the sixth question, if you see there in Hardy-Weinberg equation. So you know about the Hardy-Weinberg equation. What is the equation Hardy-Weinberg? P plus Q square. P plus Q, like similarly to that of A plus B whole square. P plus Q whole square is equal to P square plus Q square plus 2PQ equals 1. This is the Hardy-Weinberg equation. Okay. So in this, if you take P is the dominant, is for the dominant characteristic, and Q is for the recessive characteristics. And here in the question what they have asked, the frequency of heterozygous individual. Heterozygous, you can able to see here P is different and Q is different, so that is the heterozygous individual. So it is represented by 2PQ. Okay. And coming to the next question, for this question, it is like a by hearting question because the human evolution, how it has came from early to the recent. So for this, definitely I will be sharing you one easy way how to remember the chronological order of the human evolution, and that too how you can able to remember the Ramapithecus will be the primitive. So Ramapithecus and then Australopithecus and Homo habilis, then Homo erectus. So these are the chronological order of the human evolution. Ramapithecus, Australopithecus, Homo habilis and Homo erectus. Coming to the next question. Which of the following is the correct sequence of events in the origin of the life? So how the life has been originated? It has been originated in the water, and that too at that time if you see there will be basic units is nothing but the monomers will be present. You can't able to see here, so please make a note of this so that I will erase and I will be writing over here. But for this I can explain. First, the basic units will be monomers. So the monomers will be there, and if the monomers are joined together, then there will be the formation of polymers, and after the polymers, what happens, the protobions has came into the existence. So what are protobions? Protobions are of two types again. Those are coacervates will be there, and also microspheres are there. These are the two things under the protobions. So protobions, after that initially RNA has came into the existence, but in the options they haven't given about the RNA, so you can consider it as a DNA. So monomers, polymers, and then protobions, and then DNA. So if you see the options over here, it is 2, 3, 1, and 4. So the option C. Like that you can able to answer if you know the concepts. And next, coming to the ninth question, again it is related to homologous and analogous. So if you take the question, the wings of a bird and wings of an insect are, so the bird wings and insect wings both are having same function, that is for flying. So if it is same function, then what it is? It is a analogous organs. So analogous organs means it is a convergent evolution. So you can see analogous structures represents the convergent evolution. So this is how, if you know the basic concepts, it's easy to answer. So let us see the next question now. So, industrial melanism is an example of what? Industrial melanism. You know that that moth in the industrial melanism is nothing but whenever the pollution is increasing a lot, at that time what happens? The increase in pollution means due to the industries and smoke that and all has been placed upon to the bark of the tree, that and all, you know about that story, so there is an adaptation for the organisms so that they can be protected from their predator. Okay, so industrial melanism is an example of natural selection. If at all there is an adaptation, then it will be very easy so that it can be for the survival of that organism. Next question. The forelimbs of cat, lizard used in walking, and forelimbs of whale used in swimming, and forelimbs of bats used in flying are an example of. That means what they are going to say here, origin is same. Means the forelimbs, you can see here, the forelimbs, that means the same origin is there but different function. Then what are those organisms? Same origin, different function, it is nothing but homologous. But here they haven't given homologous, but we know that homologous is for the divergent evolution. How it will be also we know. So let us see whether it is their divergent evolution or not. So if you observe here, the homologous organs they had given, so directly you can say it is a homologous organs. Okay, and next, coming to the 12th question, which one of the following are analogous structures? So they are talking about the analogous structures. Analogous means different structure, different origin, and same function. So let us see different structure, which one it is there. Wing of a bat and wing of a pigeon. If you take these two, both are helpful for flying. So you can opt out that. And gills of a prawn and lungs of a man, both are for different origin, but both are for what? Both are for breathing, that only. Next, coming to the thorns of bougainvillea and tendrils of the cucurbita. So if you take a thorn and tendril, if you see the structure externally, is it different or same? So the thorn and tendril, the external structure is different. Thorn will be like this, and whereas the tendril will be like this. And what about the function? The function also, the thorn function is the protection and tendril function is for the climbing. So they are asking about the analogous structures. Different structure, different origin should be there, but same function should be there. But these two are different function, so you can opt out that also. Next, coming to the flippers of dolphin and the legs of the horse. If you take flippers of dolphin and leg of the horse, so what is the main function of that? Flippers and leg of the horse. Leg is for walking and flippers is for swimming. So if you see all these things, analogous means same function should be there, so the first option will be correct. Wing of a bat and wing of pigeon both are useful for flying. Okay. Next one. Eyes of octopus and eyes of cat show different patterns of structures, yet they perform similar function. This is an example of what? So if you take an eye of octopus and eye of cat, they show different patterns of structure, but they perform similar function, they said. Similar function means they are analogous organs. Same function means analogous organs. So you can see the options. So analogous organs, and analogous organs means it is a convergent evolution. So analogous organs that have evolved due to the convergent evolution. So that's the answer. So by understanding the concept, how easily you can able to solve the question, you can understand here. So the concept is important, and if you solve a lot of questions, then it will be easy to you. Moving on to the next question, the tendency of population to remain in genetic equilibrium may be disturbed by means in a genetic equilibrium means the stable equilibrium should be there. So the tendency of the population, if it want to remain in a genetic equilibrium, uh, some condition should be there, but it may be disturbed by how it will be disturbed, that they are asking. So we know that if at all there is a random mating, so for the random mating, if at all it is there, then there will be the chances of production of different species like that. If there is no random mating, what will happen? We will select the parents, and whatever we want, that only we will get it. So that what it will causes, there will be a change in the genetic equilibrium. So if you see the options, lack of random mating will be the correct option for this. Next, coming to the 15th question, according to Darwin, organic evolution is due to. Here they have given about the intraspecific competition. What do you mean by intraspecific competition? Intra means within the species, if at all there is a competition, that is called as intraspecific competition. So within the species, if interspecific competition means it is between the species competition, if at all it is there, that is interspecific competition. And competition with closely related species is the third option, and the fourth is reduced feeding efficiency in one species due to the presence of interfering species. This will says that what it is nothing but interference competition. What do you mean by interference competition? If at all any one species is there, means you consider the dog as an example. If some food is there over here, what will happen? The sometimes many dogs will be there, and this many dogs, among that dogs, one dog will be very interferes, or and it won't allow any other dogs to take the food. Even though the food is more over here, what's happening? Even though the food is more, this dog is not allowing, means it is interfering to take the resource. That is called as interference competition, which has been given for the D. So according to Darwin, the organic evolution is due to what? They are asking evolution when it will happen. We know that intraspecific competition is more dangerous when compared to the interspecific competition. So interspecific competition is not that much dangerous. So you can able to say that according to Darwin, organic evolution is due to with interspecific competition. If at all there is a competition between the two species, then there will be the chances of evolution. Means natural selection also will be there. That is survival of the fittest. Next, coming on to the 16th question, variation in gene frequencies within the populations can occur by chance rather than by natural selection. This is referred to as what? So, just now we have said that the gene frequencies, depending upon that variations, means it is a genetic drift. So, the genetic drift will occur in a small population also. So, direct it is, so within the population they have said, and variation in gene frequencies they have said, that is the genetic drift. And next, coming to the 17th question, the process by which organisms with a different evolutionary history evolve similar phenotypic adaptations in response to a common environmental challenge is called. So they are asking about the process. So by which organisms with different evolutionary history. We have studied that if at all it is from different origin, then what we will say, different origin means it is a convergent evolution. So the same thing we have said, convergent evolution means from the different ancestors it will be coming. So the process by which organisms with a different evolutionary history, for that you can write it as convergent evolution, evolves similar phenotypic adaptations in response to a common environmental challenge is called what? So it is nothing but convergent evolution. In the first line itself, it is clear because different evolutionary history they have set. Okay, and adaptive radiation is different. It is an example of Darwin's finches Galapagos Islands, that I will tell you whenever we see that kind of question. So the Darwin's finches which are present in the Galapagos Islands, they have radiated to different geographical areas, that is called as adaptive radiation. But here the answer is convergent evolution. Okay. Next is 18th question. What was the most significant trend in the evolution of modern man from his ancestors? That means they are asking based upon what the significant trend means evolution has happened based upon which major thing. So if you see the options, you know that for every evolution how it has been occurred, it is majorly by brain capacity. So the brain capacity, that is CC, which is called as a cranial capacity, is playing a major role during the evolution. It has been increasing from primitive to the species which are present now. So the generation, whenever it is changing, the new generation will be having high CC, that is cranial capacity. So if we see here, increasing brain capacity will be the answer. Next, evolution of different species in a given area starting from a point and spreading to other geographical areas. Just now I have told you it is nothing but adaptive radiation. Example is Darwin's finches, and this whenever they have went to the place where there are a lot of seeds, and this Darwin finches birds, the birds which can able to adapt their beaks to the seed eating, they will stay there. So here new species is formed, seed eating birds, and here insect eating birds. So that is called as adaptive radiation. Okay. Next, coming to the which 20th question, which one of the following options gives correct example each of convergent and divergent evolution? So you know the differences, so it will be very easy to solve the question. Try to solve it. So eye of octopus and mammals. So eye of octopus and mammals, whether it is convergent or convergent evolution means from different ancestors. So octopus and mammals, it is different only, no. So it is a convergent evolution. Next, coming to the let us see the divergent evolution. Bones of forelimbs of vertebrates, bones of forelimbs of vertebrates. So if you see all the forelimbs, the in your NCERT also they have specified the structure will be same, the forelimb structure. So the first option itself it is correct. Okay. And if you see the other options, the thorns of bougainvillea and tendrils of cucurbita, if you see this one, convergent means what? It should be same function. But thorn and tendril, it is a different function. Thorn is for protection and tendril is for climbing. So B, you can opt out. Like that, you can able to answer if you know the concept. And let us see the last question. The extinct human who lived 1 lakh to 4 lakh years ago in Europe, Asia, and parts of Africa, with short stature, heavy eyebrows, and retreating foreheads, large jaws, with heavy teeth, stocky bodies, and lumbering gait, and stopped posture was. So the characteristics of the evolution of man has been given in this question. So if you see, you know about the specific characteristic features of each means during the evolution. This is related to the Neanderthal man. So this is how I want to solve all the important question, not important, the previous year's NEET questions from all the chapters. Please do support me so that I will be sharing daily one chapter so that it will be useful for your NEET exam. Thank you so much. Keep watching and keep learning, and all the best for your NEET. Thank you.